Hello, family and friends. Welcome. For those of you that are returning for yet another lovely and delightful video, welcome back. Those that are new, thank you so much for your support, and we hope that you stick with us. All right, so this is going to be a catch-up video because it's been a while since we have done a video. I apologize for that. We've just had a lot going on and trying to figure out some things that we need to get done. Some changes that we have done. There are things up on our walls. Hey, we've lived here for over a year, so it's about time. I love the painting of the two donkeys. I found that at Hobby Lobby, and it looks just like Frankenbeans. Other change, we've been battling fleas with the dogs. We've got control over them, but that guy there, Vader, would not leave his rear end alone. He chewed so much, he had open sores and missing fur. So, Vader, also known as Eeyore, has a cone, and he's not happy about it at all. So, what we're gonna do now, let him be. He should only have it on for maybe another week. He's pretty healed. We've been using some colloidal silver on the areas that were open sore and the irritation irritation areas. The other thing that we're doing is they will be getting an Epsom salt dunk tomorrow. Epsom salt kills fleas. It also helps their skin, helps their muscles, helps them feel better, calms them a little bit. We do apple cider vinegar and coconut oil with every single one of their meals to help prevent fleas and worms. Beginning of the month, we do a deworming, and we do a 7-day protocol where we use black cumin seed, diatomaceous earth, pumpkin seed, rosemary, thyme, there's another one, oregano, and there's some other stuff. I need to do a video on deworming, but we try to do everything very naturally. We try not to use any medication, over the counter, any of that kind of stuff. They're pesticides, and we would prefer to try to do it naturally. So far we've had pretty good luck. They're on the mend. We will have to do, like I said, another dunk just to make sure. We put diatomaceous earth all over the backyard where they like to play, and that's helped. We did a treatment in the house. We have hardwood floor, so we just vacuum to get rid of them. Anyway, so let's show you what else is going on, because I don't know if you noticed in the background, we're down to one brooder in the house, and it's really quiet. And there's a reason for that. Let's go see. It's a beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. Right now, here's our coop. It's our neighbor's dog. The babies are getting days outside. I don't know if you can see them all. And they are right next to the big ones. You notice baby ducks have already been introduced to the entire flock, and they're doing great. Don't mind Karen, she doesn't shut up. Now we are thinking we may have another rooster, not just Leisure Suit Larry. I don't know if I can. That is a barred rock. And that one's got a pretty pronounced comb and wattle, and lighter than our other barred rock. See the comb? A lot paler, smaller, and this one's darker. So we're keeping an eye on this one. Plus the legs are much bigger. Now, could just be, I don't know, progressing differently, faster, but we're waiting. I don't know. Like the tail, everything else looks like hen, but man, that comb and those wattles and the legs. But yeah, all the babies are out here. The guinea and the chicks. Now we did have a problem with one of our chicks. He's still hanging in there, like still alive. He likes to taekwondo kick other birds, and then we noticed that when he had feathered out, some of his feathers became missing. They're curling out. He's missing feathers on his chest, and we weren't sure if maybe the other hens got sick of his behavior, or the other roosters, or if he's doing it to himself. We separated him from the flock for about 4 days, and he's outside, so maybe some good old sunshine will help him out. We don't know. We put flock raiser in with their regular food just to give a boost of protein. Yeah, only time will tell with that one. But the coop, haha. So this is our working side. All of our shelves. We finally started to get some stuff up on the shelves. Right there will be a shelf, and then below, or a countertop. Below it will be the nesting boxes for the hens. They'll be accessible from inside this area. And then this week, or early next week, Andy will be putting up roosting bars. Up there, another one there, and then he's gonna go along the side here and along the side there. And we will have I guess they call it a poop tray or whatever, for underneath these two nesting bars that go along this wall. And then underneath that, we will put the brooder that's inside the house in there. And at night, instead of the chicks coming into the house, they're going to come into the coop for about a week. So the flock gets used to having them in the coop, even though they're not out and fighting for roosting position. We will leave the little roosting bars in here when we first let the baby chicks in with the rest of the flock, so that they will have something that they can, I guess, practice on or get used to. So this is the coop. I'll tell you, I love these pellets. I have not changed them. All I do is once or twice a week come in here with a rake, just churn everything. I haven't added any more yet. I'm probably a week or two away from adding some more. But so far, the deep litter method with these pellets, amazing. And it's gonna be easy to clean it out. It turns to kind of like a sawdust. It's pretty cool. And the coop, my working side of the coop, this is gonna look pretty cool when we're done with it. And we'll get there. Now, Andy is on the other side of the fence line, weed eating the entire neighbor's side of the pasture fence line, so that we can open the rest of the pasture up to the donkeys, the sheep, and the dogs. We're putting field fencing along so the dogs and the sheep can't get out. We will have electric fence dividing the backyard to the pasture until we can get that fencing up, but this gets them out. We had to extend the electric fencing out because the sheep were getting out to get to the rest of the pasture. So it's time. It's time to do it. And next month we'll start working on the fencing in the rest of the property. But a lot of things happening. A lot of things getting done. Office still not done. Needs to get done. Gonna be working on it. Give me a second. I will be right back. And we'll talk some more. I'm back. Apologize for the interruption. We needed to walk the property line. We've got some trees that the barbed wire has grown into the trees. There's some trees that have split off that need to be trimmed. So it's never as easy as you think it's going to be. Anyway, yeah, so this month is getting the livestock out into the entire back pasture, so that they've got, the sheep have been getting out. It's just into our backyard, like it's not a real big deal, but we already moved the fence to give them a little bit more grazing area to begin with. We have a whole huge pasture. we just want to get them out in there, let them have room. What we're going to do is put the electrical tape between the pasture and the backyard. They'll still have access to the barn, but that gives them more room to roam and to feed on. That's our goal for this month. Next month will be the permanent fencing between the pasture and the backyard, and setting the posts for the fencing around the rest of the property. Because we are going to fence in about 95% of our property. We do want to utilize as much of our property as we can. That includes for the chickens, for gardens, like our front yard. We want to design some sort of really cool looking herbal garden out there. Some that's kind of pretty, but useful. Grass isn't useful. Speaking of which, those of you who are on my private Facebook page, you already know about this story. The rest of you, well, the old owner of this house, we bought this house a year ago, January, decided to email my husband and I. I immediately reached out to our real estate agent, love her, Melinda's amazing, to ask her, how did she get my personal email address? And Melinda, she said it must have come from the title company. So I did some digging, and sure enough, there was an email from the title company. They didn't blind carbon copy all of the recipients. They just carbon copied. Thank you, title company. I really appreciate that a little over a year later. But this email from the previous owner was quite rude. Called my husband and I white trash, lazy, questioned my husband's PTSD. And what's really funny is I did a little bit of Facebook stalking her, and she was raising money last October for Wounded Warriors, the very organization that has done amazing things for my husband and our family. We love Wounded Warriors, and we love that she was raising money for them. Just don't understand what made her attack to veterans with disabilities because our front yard isn't mowed. So in the email, she talked about how meticulous her and the neighbors kept their properties, which is a lie. Our front yard is not grass, it is weeds. The little garden areas in the front, yeah, they had some mulch in them and some newer bushes for the sale of the home. They weren't well kept. And better yet, the white fencing, the white horse fencing around the arena and dividing the backyard and the pasture is all rotten. Has been since we bought it. We didn't know it when we bought it, but it has been. And what's really amazing for this woman to email us a year later, after everything that we've been through this house, having to put a beam in because there were structural issues with the house, finding out that the shack, we call it the shack, it's an old garage that was turned into living quarters, has some major issues. And the funny thing is that wasn't included on the appraisal, and it wasn't included in the inspection. Pretty odd, if you ask me, but that wasn't, quite honest. The meticulous maintenance of this home, we need all new windows. There's some issues with the outside soffits. It needs to be repainted. It needs to be caulked. There's a lot of repairs that need to be done. There's some soft spots on the roof. Yeah, it was not meticulously maintained, and the email that we got from her over a year later was hypocritical. And I responded to her. I tried to be as kind as possible because my heart does go out to her. I mean, like, what kind of life do you lead that you worry about your old property? You talk about how you and your neighbors, she did, about her and her neighbors. No, I'm sorry, ma'am, but they're not your neighbors anymore. They're my neighbors, which, thank goodness, our neighbors are amazing. They've all been very supportive, and they're all very kind and helpful. She doesn't live here anymore. She doesn't live in the same town. She doesn't live in the next town or the town over. She lives over 2 hours away. So yeah, it was interesting. Like, there's been some drama over the last couple of weeks, and we've handled it tried to handle it with as much dignity and kindness as we can possibly do. I mean, we're not perfect. We're flawed too, but yeah, that was fun. Another thing that we've been kind of struggling with is our videos. When we view them, because I want to double check my work. Last time we did a video, we went ahead and pulled it up on our YouTube on our TV, and it is not completely full screen. And it's been driving us nuts. We're not really sure why. I reached out to a good friend of mine, Steve-O, who is amazing. He edits videos and everything else. He's always been so awesome about helping answer some questions, and he did. So hopefully this one will show full screen on a TV. If not, I'll try some different settings on the next one. All it boils down to is we're recording off of a phone. I would like to get a camera, but right now we have other priorities. We do like sharing this journey with everybody. The other issue that we do have, other than my verbal pauses, mental pauses, I don't like those. The uhs. I know better. I'm trained better, but they're there. I'm working on it. Is when I do a video, I am talking to what I think is you right here, but the camera's right there. So when I publish the video, it looks like I don't know how to maintain eye contact. And that drives me nuts too. I'm a trained instructor, and both of those things are part of, yeah. Anyway, it's also the touching of the face, or, yeah, we are our own worst critic. But you get to be along on the journey. You get to see the roughness and how we start out and how we end up learning, and we grow and we progress. And you get to be part of that, and we appreciate it. Speaking of which, if you have suggestions, please share them. We have a Facebook page. I can now put the Facebook link underneath in the description below. If you have suggestions on equipment, if you have suggestions on, something that you see that could be helpful, we're all ears. We're learning. Part of the reason that we are doing these videos, one, keep our friends and family. Part of it is entertained, but the other part is sharing our life with them. We have children that live around the United States, and this is one way that they can kind of keep up to date other than phone calls. They get to see us on video. For our friends and our family, it's a way for us to share our journey with you guys, but we're also open to learning from you. Any suggestions that you have, we're all ears. Any recommendations, if you got an idea, like Steve-O, he says GoPro, get a GoPro, and we might end up doing that. I do like using the phone because when I flip the camera, I can zoom in. Whereas a GoPro, I wouldn't be able to do that, but I might be able to accomplish that with some editing. And that's where The Office comes in. Now, The Office isn't done. There are reasons why I haven't gotten any further than it is taped. It is sanded and taped, so it has seen some progress. But I didn't want to paint while the chicks were in. The problem with painting when the chicks are in is odors. Toxic odors can kill chicks. Just like toxic odors can hurt us. We do not cook with anything nonstick in our house. And part of it is because of the toxins they release into the air. They have been known to kill chicks. Now, yes, the paint that we got is low VOC, but the chicks were only 3-4 weeks old, and I didn't want to be doing that. Now that the chicks are outside during the day, the plan is every morning, get them out. Animals get fed first, then Andy and I have coffee, boys make breakfast, and then we go with our day. My plan is in the morning, go ahead and throw a layer of paint down, and within a week, it'll be ready to put together. Now, I don't know if it'll be ready to put stuff on the desk, but progress is progress. So now the birds are outside during the day, we can start painting. So that is the plan, and we'll keep you up to date on that too. Cross your fingers, because I really hate painting. I really do. I don't like painting. It's not my strong suit. I'm not very good at it. So wish me luck, please. Okay, well, I think we have covered, I've covered everything. We're doing our best. We appreciate every single one of you that supports us, that follows us, that comments. Those of you who follow our Facebook page, those of you who subscribe to the YouTube. We're not looking for a big subscribership. But it's cool when one of you guys subscribes, like, that's cool. That's really neat. And we appreciate it. You know, if you want to share the videos with your friends, we welcome that too. You know, the more the merrier. And listen, as I get more comfortable with the camera and the kids and Andy will get on the camera a little bit more. He's more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. So, but no, Aunt Sharon, he's not camera shy. He just prefers not to be. We'll get going on this. We'll get better at it. And we've got all of you to share our journey with, and we really, really appreciate it. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you cheering us on. Like, that is huge. We appreciate the suggestions and, you know, just the help. We appreciate it all. We appreciate you. And yeah, we're doing our best. We're growing, we're learning, and we hope you stick with us. All right, well, it's the end of the video. Pretty sure I've covered everything. The email. Vader's got the collar, or the cone. That is kind of funny. Chicks, pasture. Yeah. Soon on the agenda is a garden. It's going to be a late plant. It's not going to end up being a overly successful full garden this year, but at least we'll start. Hopefully we can get a couple of greenhouses up this year. Just, they're not going to be anything fancy. They're going to be cheaper throw up ones. Not throw up, but ones that we throw up. Anyway, thank you for following. We really appreciate all of your support. We give all glory to God for where we're at, what we've learned, what we are learning. Just, it's an amazing blessing, and so are you. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Have a great day.